So after a soaking wet few days in the mountains of the Lake District, I finally broke and had to give in to my body's calling to leave. So unfortunately I've had to come away from the Lake District. After a while, guys, the wet, the cold, it can become too much when night after night you have nowhere solid to stay. It can become very exhausting taking your kit off and putting it on and trying to dry it out, find somewhere to sleep, do the videos, get some food, try and find work, thinking about the money. Your nervous system is constantly running because you don't have somewhere solid to sleep. And when you do find that somewhere solid to sleep, or that base to sleep, it can feel a little bit like, okay, well, it's only a tent, anything can happen to you in a tent, you know. So you're constantly on the move, and to stay in the mountains, as much as we all know how much I love them, to stay in the mountains with that kind of weather, getting wet, was just exhausting me. And in the end I had to do what I would push anyone to do, which is give in to your better judgment, you know. And that's kind of the message I'm always trying to get over to people. Do what feels true to yourself. What felt true to me was coming away from the Lake District, maybe heading further back down, sort of south again, that kind of way, getting a slightly warmer and drier climate. Few weeks go past, a month goes past, I could go back to the Lake District when it's a little bit warmer and it might be a little bit drier and a little bit more pleasant and easier to get around and try and do all the other stuff, find work and all that as well. But the other thing it was doing was getting in the way of the videos that I want to do, like explaining about nomad life, you know, like what it's like to actually kind of live free of a system, if you see what I mean, and create your own narrative and live by that. And there's sort of other videos about what kit I carry, how I find places to sleep, all sorts of other things. I can't think of them at the moment whilst I'm walking here. So yeah, that's what I've done. I've come a little bit further down. I'm gonna head back towards south, so I'm not sure where yet. I'm kind of thinking around Winchester way, around that sort of manner. It's absolutely beautiful there. It's a slightly warmer climate. And just make a go of things there and see what happens. But that is the beauty of leading this type of life. It's like I was saying in a lot of my videos, the best thing I ever done was allow myself the freedom to do whatever I want to do. You know, so despite the fact that I've got a YouTube channel and I've told loads of people I'm going to go to the Lake District and I'm now going completely the other end of the country, you know, it's okay. You need to, or I need to, kind of realise that doing what's best for me in those given moments, at times when you're feeling probably physically and mentally exhausted, is to kind of, okay, I have to put myself first and do what I know is true. And that's what I mean about I allow myself the freedom to do what I need to do, or to do what I want to do. And sometimes that sounds arrogant, but it's not meant as an arrogance. It means that what would have happened if I'd stayed in the Lake District, you'd build up like an anger, a tiredness, maybe a resentment or something. Whereas I come away from it, had a beautiful time there, had a great time, you all see that, I absolutely loved it. I got the mountains out of my system a little bit. And now I can come back down and make a go of things here and see if we can find some work. Anyway, this was only supposed to be a little 20-second clip, and it wasn't. It's now a 20-minute clip. I don't know how that happens, but it does. But where am I? I'm just outside a beautiful place called Morecambe Bay. And that's the little riverside that I'm walking down to get to Morecambe Bay. I've been there before, some of you would have seen it on video and on the shorts, but I will do some more stuff here. I know one or two little sleeping spots here, so that's why I thought I'll stop off here, find something to eat, find somewhere to sleep. I'm in serious need of some sleep, dry my kit out in this sunshine, and then get an early start tomorrow to keep heading down, sort of southbound again. But as always, I will keep you posted, and thank you for your love and your support, guys. It really, you guys really do give me the encouragement, and sometimes you are the backbone that keeps me going. You really are. Thank you. So here we are again. Sorry if I'm shouting. As far as I can tell, there's nothing but wind, so I'm speaking up. If it's too loud, I'm sorry, you'll have to turn it down. But here we are again, another night of not knowing where I'm staying. So the two little spots that I did know, I can't go to them, so that writes those off. So now it's walking around, which is what I've done all day. It's what I've done for the last 10 days, or probably more. And I'm tired. Very, very tired. Like really tired. And this is those times when you can really question yourself. I do. I question myself all the time. What am I doing this for? Have I found freedom, or have I created a new trap for myself? It's what a lot of time alone does, and a lot of putting yourself in unfamiliar territories. It brings up new feelings and emotions in you. Personally, I like exploring them, even though they can feel terrifying sometimes. It's the only way that, for me, this is, guys. I know a couple of you have said that you feel like I'm trying to teach. No, I'm just sharing my views on how life works for me, hoping that that might help some other people. Take what you like, leave what you don't. You know, it's like, I certainly don't feel I'm in a position to teach. But I also know that I do throw myself into situations, both physically and mentally, that a lot of people don't go into. Hence the reason why it seems like sometimes I seem to be able to work out the mind so well. What it is I can work out my own mind so well and work out what that's doing, and it's that I try and share. And maybe that resonates with a hell of a lot of you, which makes it look like I know so much about the mind, but I actually know so much about my own. And if it resonates with you, isn't that wonderful? Anyway, what was I talking about? That's tiredness, you see. Yeah, so again, trying to find somewhere. And after a while, it can become... Hi, darling. She's laughing at me, she is. It's YouTube. But yeah, I've lost all self-consciousness with stuff like that now. I don't really care. It's just having fun. So yeah, you've got to try and find somewhere new to stay, and it gets tiring. Night after night, it wears you out. And this is something that I wanted to touch on. I love the mountains, I love nature, and my quest to be in it and change my life from the monotony of never seeing nature. This is kind of what I feel like I have to go through to do that. It's like I've said in other videos, guys, I don't want to live in a tent forever. It's hard work. And times like now, you can question yourself, and I like these questions. The fact that I'm asking myself questions means I'm out here doing something. So I like these questions, although they scare me, like genuine, they scare me, and they probably scare you when you ask yourself vulnerable questions. It's like, we're all humans here, we're all the same. But I question myself, like, what? Is this really working hard, Tobe, or are you just punishing yourself to get away from the 9 to 5? Do you like the identity that you're the guy that lives outside of the system, that lives outside of the matrix? I ask myself all this stuff. And sometimes I'm asking that knowing that I won't have an answer, because sometimes I feel really great about it all. And then other times I think, what am I doing? I'm making myself ill. And then I go for a walk in nature and remember why I'm doing it. I'm so hoping you can hear this and it isn't winded out. It's really loud here. But that's the seafront for you. But I sometimes wonder, oh, I don't know if you can hear me, I might end this and try and find somewhere quieter. But I can't just turn this on, you know, the willy-nilly. I record when I'm feeling something. There's many times when I'm not feeling anything and I don't record, I just take it in, or I reject it because I'm feeling shitty. And maybe you do the same in areas of your life. You know, overall I love everything about it, even these parts, because I think these parts, when I'm feeling like this, like really doubting it all, I think to myself, is that the part where all the greats, all the legends, and I'm not saying I'm that, I'm just using this, where all the greats, all the legends, all the wonderful people, all the explorers, all the wonderful, I don't know, whatever, all the wonderful people we admire, did they reach this point where they're terrified that they might break down? That they're putting too much pressure on themselves? And they're scared that, you know, where their mental health's going to take them? Is this that moment for me? That if I keep on, I can change all of this around? Change it into what? That's another question I'm asking myself. Change it into what now? I've seen so much and done so much. They're questions that will keep coming up, and I'll keep sharing them with you guys as and when they come up and they change me and they change this path. In fact, I'm going to be calling the channel from now on Tobe Unscripted, because doing stuff like this does create new thoughts, feelings and emotions, and those new thoughts, feelings and emotions will guide any of us down a different path in life, and that's exactly what they're doing to me. So I think the only fair title to call it is Tobe Unscripted. Or Life Unscripted, because, you know, I don't always want it to be just about me, even though it kind of is. I don't want it to be. It's about us as a species. There's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger picture here. I'll touch on that another time. But, you know, I'm blessed. I have you guys, genuinely, I have you guys. That is such a, I can't tell you the level of companionship that gives me at times. And also, if I'm honest, it frightens the bloody life out of me. I'm just a regular guy, and you lot drop so much love on me, which is lovely. There's a huge part of me that loves it and a part of me that's so scared of it. What if I let everyone down? What if I stop doing this because I can't take it anymore? And my love for the mountains, I have to crush that and go and stop living out on the road. I mean, stop living from my tent. Maybe I'll have to find another plan of doing this life. And maybe that's what this phase is that I'm in at the moment. Sorry guys, I thought my phone had stopped. This is real, remember? But maybe that's what this phase is that I'm in at the moment. It's there to make me hit a wall, so that I have to ask new questions, and the asking of those new questions provides me with new answers. This is what I talk about when I say when we go into the unfamiliar grounds, it opens up areas of us that we never knew existed. And maybe it's in those areas that we never knew existed where we find our true self, or we let go of our fake self, our act. And the us that's always been there comes through. The us that's always been there underneath the conditioning. Maybe it seems like sometimes I get so deep with this stuff, but like I say, guys, that's how it affects me out here. You know, right now I'm scared, if I'm honest with everyone. I'm scared of where I'm going to sleep. Will I wake up tomorrow? Sometimes I've been so scared before that all I do is walk all the way through the night because I don't want to sleep. No, I'm not trying to sound like a hero to anyone who's watching this. What I'm trying to do is give you a real live life situation on what it's like to live like this. All of the things I'm telling you, I never knew any of them existed because I was never doing it. But now I'm doing it, I know it exists, so I share it. Anyway, I'm going to go. I might do another video if I find somewhere later. Well, I will. I'll show you where I'm sleeping. If I'm sleeping, if not, then I'll talk to you in a bit, guys. Random thing to see as you walk along a beachfront. Funny thing is, it would probably take longer than that because of all the hosepipe bands we have. Look at this little beauty. It's things like this that I love so much. Hello. Where you gone? Hey, come say hello. Can only be weeks old. I mean, I don't know, but probably a lot of horsey people watching that, but that was tiny. Still had the legs splaying out at the side, you know, to keep the balance. Still not found anywhere to sleep. It's now raining. Now I'm getting wet again. But hopefully tomorrow's a sunny day so I can dry it out. But this is what takes its toll, guys. You know, and it's not a sympathy thing. I'm not interested in sympathy. I think those of you that have watched me long enough know this. I'm not interested in sympathy. Of course people are probably gonna feel empathy maybe, or even have sympathy, but that's not why I'm doing it. It's lovely to receive that and thank you very much, but it's not why I leave these parts. This channel was always called Truth Be With You. I love that name. I always wanted things that I do to be truthful, and if they're not, then I'll say they're not. And that's why I share these parts. It's wet. It's grey, I can't find anywhere to sleep. I'm tired, like I've never felt before. But still we march on. Because sometimes little bits like that with the horse, I wouldn't see that if I wasn't doing this. That might sound crazy to some people, but not to me. And I guess that's all that matters. I love you all. I was hoping I might be able to go on that little spot there, but it's too steep, which is a shame because that would have been lovely sleeping there, and I don't think anyone would have been down there. So no, that's a no-no as well. And again, I was hoping that maybe I could go outside this. Looks like a walk to a castle or something, but it's great big dips and it's like that. It would be an option if I couldn't find anywhere else. That's the type of thing. I just throw the tent up, I get in it, and it then becomes shelter. What's this? Yeah, again, it's so steep. It's just like this when you're on it. It doesn't look like it, but it just is. Be a nice little spot this though if it wasn't so. This might be an option. I might come back to this and then, like I say, just set the tent up, get in it, and it's not really a sleeping night. It's just a shelter night. Look, it's the sea. I don't know why I pointed at that and showed you. Seagulls is quite high up here, but let's carry on. Oh wow, look, it is a castle ruin. I'll spin you around in a sec. Look, how cool. I don't know what castle this is or anything. Oh, spooky, spooky. That's very dark in here. What's that down there? I walk into the most dodgiest places sometimes, I really do. And then think that I'm going to sleep there. That's where the nervous system gets tired, guys. So that could be an option. But it's very public though, if you know what I mean. It's not, but there's paths is what I mean. There's paths here, and when you're new in an area, like I am to here, I don't know if, you know, later on tonight you have people coming up who, I don't know, come out and have party and drink and take drugs or whatever. You have no idea of what's going on, and so I won't ever take a chance, ever. I mean, that would be really cool to sleep there, but I'm out in nature because I love nature, not to disturb it. I know nothing about this castle at the minute. I'm saying castle, I'm thinking that's what it is. I know nothing about it, so I wouldn't want some kind of wonderful, glorious history and I just come and pitch me tent on it, you know. Again, they're all things that go on in my head when I do this kind of stuff. Might not work. No, other people might not be like that, and that's okay. That's okay. Like I'm allowed to say it's okay. Each to their own, I guess. Can they? Oh, the castle goes down there even. So I'm actually standing in the castle. Oh, it's a chapel. Okay, that makes sense. Wow. That's amazing. I can't get too distracted though for too long. I've just got to have a quick read though. Now I've seen it. What I'll do, guys, is just hold it there for a sec. If you want to read it, you can pause it, I guess. How's that? Wow, that's amazing. I'm not going to recite what that says, but I would suggest pausing that and having a little read. It's really fascinating, but it's 1300 years old, and those things that I was looking at just a minute ago over there were actually graves, so I'm guessing this is the same thing as well. but they weren't graves as such for bodies. They were more graves for keeping the bones of people in there for spiritual reasons. I think it said, this is why I don't recite, guys. I'm not very good at it. So that's why I share my own excitement with stuff, and you know, I don't try and not educate. Oh, I'm gonna have to go down here. Look. Jeez, Tobes, you have to find somewhere to sleep, you dickhead. It's quite dark. Jesus. Hope it comes back out soon, because this is really dark. Wow. Damn. So interesting. It's so interesting. Look at these rocks. I tell you what, I mean, they might have built structures like that back in the day, but they didn't take into consideration the size of steps you have to step up. It's fascinating. What a great little spot. It's made my day, it's made my night. So if I don't find anywhere to sleep, I'm kind of like, this sort of thing makes up for it for me. Obviously I still need to rest though, I'm aware of that, you know, I'm very aware of that, I still need to rest. And I'll try somehow to make up for it. But this is all part of why I want the channel to grow, and hopefully get some money in via their adverts and stuff, where you're earning money holistically, you know. It's like I'm putting out content that you guys appreciate. YouTube put adverts on the videos, and then that gives me a little something for doing this, which is lovely, it's wonderful. You know, and hopefully one day it gets big enough where I can take the ads off, because I can earn money from elsewhere that I don't actually have to charge anyone for. You know, and then that's really holistic. Everyone's getting it free. And I don't know, I kind of know what I mean there. But yeah, and then if I had that money, then I would go and book myself into a small little B&B or a travel lodge or something like that. You know, so. But for right now, I'm enjoying the journey. I can't just have that. None of us can just have that. Well, I guess we can if you win the lottery or something, if someone leaves you an inheritance. But you know, we can't just have that. It's nice to be able to work for it. It's nice to, and that's why I try and embrace this journey. It's not to show off. It's because I know that I'm only going to be here once on this journey, this particular journey that I'm doing now, that I share with you guys. I'm only going to be at the bottom once, and now I'm rising up that ladder a little bit. I'm only going to be at each stage just once. Isn't that so exciting? They're beautiful. And that's just exciting, and that's what it means to embrace the journey. You know, and I think that's why sometimes, guys, when I leave my Facebook post, I get huge responses. I back off for a little while. I get a bit scared of that. Over 1 million people seeing my posts. Me! You know, and I back off because it scares me. But then I need to take it in, and so I grow steadily. You know, I grow steadily with it all, rather than shooting up to the top. I mean, hopefully I have a viral video or two, but I think now with 9,000 subs, and it's growing a little bit each day, and you guys just do nothing but have my back. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to flatter you. You just have nothing but have my back, so that makes me confident that should a load more come in, a load more subscribers, if you do, hello, you know, then I feel I'm becoming more accustomed to feeling like I'm ready for that. And that's what I think all the fear is that I'm feeling. It's kind of getting rid of the parts that I probably don't need in order to get me ready to then go off on a new path. Yeah, we're still recording. I can't see without my glasses, guys. So earlier on, when you saw me staring at the screen for ages, I was trying to see if the digits were moving on the little thing that comes up there on my screen. But yeah, it's amazing to be part of this journey. And I mustn't forget that. when I'm here and, you know, it's getting a bit wet and it's dark and whatever. I mustn't forget that. I'm only going to be here once. I like the way I said that. That's lovely. I'm going to keep that in my head. And maybe as you grow in your lives or whatever it is you're doing, what little ventures you're doing, adventures or moving house, splitting up with partners, leaving bosses, changing jobs, whatever you're doing, whatever your dreams are, that each part that starts to hurt, each part that starts to scare you, each part that starts to make you concerned for your mental health maybe, although notice that one, you know, I would suggest that, you know, but each one that makes you worry about your mental health, i.e. if I did that thing, could that make me, you know, and everyone laughs at me and says, will I be able to handle that? Those sort of issues, that sort of thing, you know? Maybe when we get to those points, that's because we're on the journey. I know that's where I am, you know, I'm being opened up now to a lot more criticism. I get quite a lot more comments now. I say quite a lot, it's not that many, like negative ones. And that's, I kind of, like genuinely guys, I kind of sort of think, wow, I'm turning into that YouTuber that's now getting criticism from other places. It's quite cool. And I think we've established that I probably am sometimes maybe a little bit strange the way that I see things, but I do. That is how my mind works. It's how I've trained it to work, is to sort of, it seems to see a lot of things the opposite way round. You know, like a lot of people say to me, Toad, when you left your caravan and you started to venture out on this journey, you must have had some money in the bank or something. And my answer is always like, no, I did this journey because I didn't have any money. Not because I did have any money. I did it because I didn't have any money. Clearly, what I was doing for the other 35 years of my life wasn't working. I didn't have any money to come away with. That was why I thought, well, let's stop doing that then and let's do this instead and see what happens. And what you're watching now is the progression of that and that person, and it's all I ever wanted to know. I used to read autobiographies and stuff, all religiously. And I always thought it was because I wanted to know the secret to becoming rich. But you know what I've learned over the last couple of years? It was never that, guys. I wanted to know what went on in someone's mind at that point. You know, that breaking point. The point that I was talking about earlier. That it scares me. That great people, is this the part where those great... Okay, I'm well out of data. I just had to delete some things off because I want to finish that point. But the great big legends, the great big YouTubers, the great big stars of the world, anyone that you might admire or love, or the actors, the authors, the singers. I know I'm big in, I love music. You know, so any of those people that just before they got great, did they reach a point where they thought they were going to go crazy? Did they reach a point that was so scary that it crippled them to the point where they almost didn't do it? And I feel like I'm kind of at that point now. And again, I'm not gloating. If you think I am, then it's the wrong channel you're watching. It's not gloating, but I feel like that's where I'm at now. And it was always that part of their minds that I wanted to experience. And I think I'm there. I think this is it. I think this is why I'm feeling so scared of what's to come. If this channel blows up, guys, and I have become one of them channels that has 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, whatever, millions, imagine that. But the fear of, can I keep being this person then? That this is the point that comes to me as I walk around. The person that is here now probably isn't ready to have 1 million subscribers. But if I keep growing the way that I am, the person that I'm becoming on the route there, on the journey, embracing the journey, the person that I'm becoming on the way, by the time I have 1 million subscribers, this guy would have changed and would be ready for that. Does that make sense? I love being out here because it works my mind. I love contemplating. I love sort of reflecting on life. Us, humans, as a species, our race. Consciousness. I love it. I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna shoot off because I do need to find somewhere to sleep still. But this is a really deep video. I hope you're enjoying this, guys. Do you know, someone actually said to me, Toad, sometimes it seems like you're acting. Guys, I can't act this life for 365 days. I don't think anyone can do this. You can't keep up this acting night after night after night. You just can't. What you're seeing is the evolvement of a human. What you're seeing is the evolvement of a person that tried to change their life. And I'm sharing that. And as I evolve, and as things evolve, and as things go on in my life, I change as a person, and that change in me produces other things from me. And what you're seeing is someone that you lot have backed me so much that what you're now seeing is someone who's becoming very confident in allowing their full expression to come out. You know, I'm speaking more and more and more free of my ego, and more free of the fear of what people think of me. Anyway, I love you all. Get me out of here. That's better. There we go. Oh, look. I love little churches. It's just what lovely buildings. Anyway, I'm going to go and find somewhere to sleep, guys. Like, seriously. Well, this is kind of annoying. I've just found a place to pitch. Got myself in the sleeping bag, and you can probably hear all the banging and shouting. Sounds like a few people having a joint, because I can smell it. If they get out and walk around their car, they'll see me. If they stay in the car, they won't. Yeah, and that will make sense in the morning when I give you a shot. But these are the type of things I say when I talk about you're on edge constantly. It's 24 hours a day. So I will lie in there until they're gone. So probably harmless people, normal people, just, coming out, smoke a joint, have a laugh and then bugger off. So no harm will come of it, but still got to keep one eye open. Anyway, guys, night night. I have the tent door open like that so I can see if they're coming. Thankfully, they've just gone, and it's so weird because this is, for you guys who want to be YouTubers, this is what you have to do. I'm lying here, I've got my tent door open, it's raining, and you've got that sort of carry-on going on outside. You're scared, you're wondering what to do, and there's me clearing data on my phone so I can record it. But anyway, they've gone now. So I can relax. I don't think they're gonna be coming back, and like I said, normally 90%, 95%, whatever, I don't know the percentage, people are gonna be good. They're gonna do what they're doing and leave you alone. But they haven't seen me. I'm just on the other side of this electrical box thing. I'll show you in the morning. But anyway, yeah, thought you might enjoy that. A little bit tense, I guess. This is really cool, actually, being the one who's filming it. I guess being your side of the camera, that would have been really tense for a few moments, and then you hear my voice laughing. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to spoil it. So, good morning. I'm pleased to say I did wake up, as you've probably guessed. I didn't manage to delete much stuff off my phone last night. I was dog tired when I got in here, and also wet because when I set the tent up, it was raining. But thankfully, it seems like it's dried out now, although I'm still pretty damp feeling, which is always a horrible feeling. You know, that tacky feeling. I feel like I desperately want to get in the shower and get some stickiness off me, but I've got talcum powder, that'll do. For now. What was I going to say? Right, let's spin you around. Let's see what's going on in the world outside. There we go. Look, there's people. So it's quite nice, quite a nice day. It still seems a little bit drizzly, a little bit wet, a little bit grey outside, but it's nice to hear the waves of the ocean and stuff like that. Get that little sea breeze. It's not particularly cold. It is quite cold, but it's not that cold. I'm quite used to it now as well, by the way, but it's just kind of how you adapt, I guess. I'm not used to the cold as such. Let me just try and reframe that. Here we go, I have to get deep already. But I'm not used to the cold as such. It's more, I'm used to the feeling of being cold. But yeah, right, I'm going to pack up in here. Let's have a little look. Oh. So it's in a bit of a mess in here. This is what happens when you set up like that. It can be quite annoying because you just get everything out and you just trying to set it all up quickly, and then you sort of have the mindset of, oh, you know what, I'll sort it all out in the morning, and then when the morning comes you think, oh my god. So I've got to put all this away. It's not the end of the world though. And then let's get on with the day. So this is the little spot where I was last night, the tent, and that's the electrical box then that I was saying in there. In fact, let me turn you around. Oh, you see the sea while I turn you around. Mountains over there, look. That makes sense to you now, guys, when I was saying that I could hear the car which was parked just along there, and obviously I was in there, and that's like a big electrical box thing. But I felt quite safe, I guess. Like again, just for those of you that are interested, kind of always put my back to like the fences. I like to be able to look out. Yeah, nothing else really to say. I try and be respectful of the neighbours and stuff like that. If they see me in the morning, be polite, whatever else. But most people I find are not really, are not too interested. If anything, I find that it feels like most people are slightly embarrassed when they see you. They don't know what to do with themselves. And so I normally just make some sort of joke, or normally I'll joke and say, morning, one night only. There's no charge for having me here. And then normally just giggle, you know. It's a bit of trying to lighten the mood slightly, if you like. But anyway, there's the tent. Let's put that away and let's go and get this much needed coffee. So another little camp done, another little night out, another little night of not paying rent. That sounds so cheesy. However, always remember, whatever you're doing, leave no trace, except nice memories that you've been there. Morning. I was going to say something. Oh, that's it. No matter how daunting it always seems when I wake up, like to pack everything away, and I never really want to get out the sleeping bag because I might be a little bit damp or a little bit cold, or, you know, it just sort of looks like a mammoth task. And you're doing everything on your knees, by the way, you know, and you've got to kind of swivel yourself around. It's not like tidying up your front room, you know. It's a little bit different from that. So I never feel like doing it, but just then as I was clipping my Bergen up, I just heard myself say to myself, it always gets done, Tobe. It always gets done. And I just thought that's a nice way to look at anything like that. This is for me, guys. It's just sharing my stuff. You know, I kind of look at my life a lot of the time like that. It always gets done. Like now I've got about 1.5 miles walk to Costa Coffee. Actually, I'm going to stop here because I want to show you something over there. We've got about 1.5 miles walk to Costa Coffee, which with this Bergen on probably takes me about 25 minutes to do it, something like that. It's a nice walk along the beachfront, but I'd like to have a coffee shop right here. That would be nice. but I'll always get there. You know, I'll get there. It'll be fine. So yeah, nice little thoughts. And I've got some bread rolls that I didn't eat last night, so I'm going to feed the seagulls on the way back. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Anyway, so last night, that, you know, where the cathedral, not the church was, the chapel, that was all over there, and the lovely little village was that there. So that's where I went, and that island there kind of goes right the way back, goes really far over that way, and then I walked all the way round, come back round here, and then ended up here. But I had already walked for miles along here, and now we've got to go all the way back. But on the whole, even though I'm really tired, it was quite a nice evening. I saw some things I wouldn't otherwise see if I wasn't doing this. So there you go. Anyway, have a great day, whatever you're doing. It's morning here, so I'm saying good morning to you. That's all right. She'll be on YouTube though, famous now.